Part of Kenya's parliament building was on fire Tuesday as thousands of protesters against a new finance bill entered and legislators fled in the most direct assault on the government in decades.
Ruto, why are you killing our children? Kwa nini unaua watoto wetu Ruto?
Journalists saw at least 3 bodies outside the complex where police had opened fire. The protesters had demanded that legislators vote against the controversial bill imposing new taxes on a country where frustrations over the high cost of living have simmered for years. The protesters outmaneuvered police to enter parliament shortly after legislators voted to pass the bill.
And fire government.
Leo wabunge wananunuliwa kama wanawake. Wabunge ya Kenya wamekuwa wanawake. Pia tafadhali tuvae suruali sisi wa mama.
Lawmakers fled through a tunnel, but protesters allowed opposition legislators who voted against the bill to walk out of the besieged building. The office of the Nairobi governor, a member of the ruling party, also was on fire. The office is located near Parliament. Police water cannons were being used to extinguish the fire. Protesters could be heard shouting, "We are coming for every politician." Police officers also fired live ammunition and threw tear gas canisters at protesters who sought treatment at a medical tent set up at a church near the Parliament complex. The Kenya Human Rights Commission shared a video of officers shooting at protesters and said they would be held to account. 2 people died in similar protests last week, the Kenya Law Society President Faith Odhiambo said Tuesday that 50 Kenyans, including her personal assistant, had been abducted by people believed to be police officers. Some of those missing included
niko na wagonjwa watu wa gunshots karibu 10 na askari wenzenu.
Enda bibia tutaua wengine wengi. Enda chukua wengine. Sawa. Unatoka kutoka.
Asi utaua wengine wengi.
Okoa ile amepigwa.
Na si ndio nafanya wananirushia tear gas na madaktari nitawatibu aje na ni wenzenu. Aje. Na nilipuli hadi anesthesia ikilipukia watu nitafanya nini na mnatibiwa pia nyinyi. Na sibagui. Sad, just bad. Bad. Kuna wagonjwa 10 watu wanakufia hapa tu ambulance hizi fika.
Those who were vocal in the demonstrations and were taken away from their homes, workplaces, and public spaces ahead of Tuesday's protests. According to civil society groups, police officials did not immediately return calls seeking comment. Parliament Speaker Moses Wetangula had directed the Inspector General of Police to provide information on the whereabouts of those the opposition said were abducted. Previously, police had managed to block protesters from gaining access to parliament and always cordoned off the protection opposition leaders had in the past held protests, but police succeeded in blocking them from accessing parliament. Parliament is a gazetted area, meaning that it is one of the most highly protected and guarded institutions after the State House. The protected status gives security officers more mandate to do all they can to avoid any intrusion into the legislature. MPs had voted 195 to 106 to pass the Finance Bill 2024, paving the way for President William Ruto to assent to it into law. Earlier protesters had overpowered police and crossed over to Parliament Road, gaining access to Parliament buildings. President William Ruto was outside the capital attending an African Union retreat. On Sunday, he said he was proud of the young people who had come out to exercise their democratic duty and said he would engage the youth on their concerns. Anti-finance bill protesters in their hundreds on Tuesday afternoon entered inside Parliament. The protesters entered inside Parliament hours after police shot a number of demonstrators outside Parliament buildings. The protesters also banned a number of vehicles belonging to the police as tension escalated outside the countries. Legislature. Moments earlier, MPs had voted to approve the Finance Bill 2024 that they argued imposes a wave of taxes. This is the first time in the history of Kenya that protesters have broken barriers and accessed inside Parliament despite heavy security.
Wapi hapo?
Yule mtu pale.